Hello, this is our November update for Patreon, as well as sort of December, because I'm going to take a break from video updates for the month of December, only because I'm going to be offline for part of it again. Still be shipping orders and all of that, but I'm going to pre-schedule things and not do as much online work over the holiday season, which basically means kind of like from Yule onwards, I won't be online. And I'm sure also a lot of you won't be really online as much, or if you are, you don't want to do it in a way that is like, I don't know, annoying. So this will be our November update, which will then also sort of cover what's coming up in December, and then I will see you again in January. But if you have opted for the $5 Patreon perk, there will still be something for you out of there. Still be something for you in December in lieu of this video update. So hello. I've got Willow in the room here with me, and Yarrow is outside, so that they are not playing together and causing chaos, and Willow is a hell of a lot better with the camera than Yarrow is. So just because she's used to me doing things and her needing to behave while I'm doing those things. It's very exciting to see her slowly becoming like a better and better pupper, and maturing and getting a lot just kind of generally calmer and better. But she's definitely still has her moments, and when the pair of them are going at it, then things get interesting. So we'll just skip that problem. So what do I have to tell you? So I'll grab my handy dandy list hanging out behind me. I am currently in my studio, which is, I realized after I did last month's update, good girl, that it's not as tidy as I think it is, or like it's functional. I know where things are, and things are pushed off of to the sides and off the floor at the very least, but it's not actually that tidy looking. So that'll be another project that gets worked on eventually. So instead you have a lovely view of my work desk. And so this isn't actually where I do most of my work. Sometimes I do work on that computer. Mostly I'm still on my laptop, which has a new fan, and hopefully that will kind of help it continue dragging through its final days. But I'm sure all of you were aware of my computer chaos that happened once again earlier this month. And so we now have an emergency computer fund thanks to this month's shop update. Thank you all who participated in that. So we have an emergency computer fund for when something finally does kick the bucket, and also are backing up files on a daily basis, so that in the event that something kicks the bucket and we're not anticipating it fully kicking the bucket, or crashing and we can't recover files, which has happened multiple times now, to be honest, then I can just plug in and keep working. And hopefully it's that one also doesn't kick the bucket, because that's what happened last year. So anyway, emergency computer fund is now in existence, which is great. Hopefully it doesn't get used on the doggos. But yeah, so that's useful. So the big thing that happened this past month, the two major things, no, leave it, good girl, Willow. A dog just walked past the window. So the two major things that happened this past month were the shop update, which was actually the biggest shop update I've ever done, and also I think bigger, or at least the very similar in size to what I am normally prepping for Manitoba Fiberfest. So it was huge. It was a lot of work. It took up a lot of my time, but it happened, and it went well, and there's still stuff in the shop for you if you are looking for anything. There's lots of new things that got debuted this past month, and then also if you're a local then of course the annual studio sale, the holiday studio sale, is happening December 7th and 8th, so that's a Saturday and Sunday, 10 to 4 each day. And it'll be the usual crew, plus a couple of other lovely humans. So Lyle will have some, they've been making some herbal remedies, so that'll be some stuff that we'll have available. Grace is going to be here because she's in town now, so she'll actually physically be here with her ceramics and her pottery. And then it'll be me, Anna from Long Way Homestead, Christelle from Fermfiola Farm, Nicole from Bear and Bunny Yarn, and then Crystal from Pearl and Hank. So it'll be a good cross-section of folks all making really beautiful, handmade, natural, sustainable items, which I'm stoked about. So if you need something for basically anyone, we'll have it. We will also have on, not on tap, but on pour, I guess, the new Willow's Tea Blend, as well as the Tiny Coven Coffee Blend. So both of those will be on for a price, with Grace's mugs being part of that for folks that are interested. And then of course cider will be free. And we'll have snacks and all of that for you as well. But if you are wondering about the taste of those things and want to check them out, and you're local, then you can do that. And I'm currently waiting on bags to finish off getting the tea sorted. We ordered bags and it turned out that they were too small. So that's fun. Willow, stop eating things on the floor. Leave it. Leave it. Willow. What the fuck are you eating? I don't even know. So we'll be making little mini tea bags, like kind of one-shot ones, and tossing those into online orders once we have them ready to go. So that will be lovely. Willow, stop sniffing things. Sit, please. I know you're bored. Sit, please. Thank you, good girl. So the coffee and the tea are currently on pre-order. We'll have them by sometime next week, and so pre-orders will ship out at that point. We'll have them for the studio sale, and then you'll be able to be ordering them. They're great stocking stuffers. So I've also made a holiday lookbook, which is on the website, so if you are looking for gifts for people and you don't really know what to get people, it's organized by kind of like ideas of what you could give to different kinds of folks. So that's on the website and you can check it out now. And then other things that also debuted, the biggest one for me was sapling, which is, I've actually got a whole stack of them over there, so I will grab them. Dun, dun, dun. So it's these little cutie patooties. So they are half skeins of our Canadian worsted base. And so sapling is an awesome little dude. Great for color work. Also for if you haven't had an opportunity to test out farm yarns and natural dyes, you can do it at a lower price point. It's $24 Canadian. And so I designed a headband that goes with it. So one of these is enough to make like a small thing for kiddos or a headband, or you can grab two different ones and make color work mitts. So it's a great way of testing things out without investing loads of money if you're still kind of unfamiliar with farm yarns and natural dyes, and aren't sure that you want to dive in at a full sweaters quantity. That being said, if you do want a sweaters quantity, those are available on the website as well. So it was a lot of fun with the shop update. I am now switching gears back over to getting my wholesale folks up and ready for the new upcoming year. So emailing folks with my new lookbook, not the holiday lookbook, but the wholesale lookbook, with the new products that have been added. And I don't know what you're doing, my love. And so it's just been busy and good time of year, but definitely busy. The other major thing that happened other than the shop update this month was From Field to Skin's Indiegogo campaign completed, and we made enough money to fund another episode, which is awesome. So I'm in touch with Manitoba Buckskin, and I will be sitting down with Robert at some point, and we'll be chatting about Manitoba Buckskin. They are an enterprise based out of Winnipeg, and they do traditional brain and smoke tanning at a commercial-ish level, which is really interesting to me. And they do a lot of workshops, and they work with different Indigenous artists around the region to provide those hides. And so I'm really excited to chat with them because it's been a bit of a gap so far in From Field to Skin. And so I'm excited to learn for myself and also excited to bring that conversation to the rest of you. And so that should come out sometime in early 2020. And then after that, upcoming episodes beyond that will be based on like a per funding basis. I got some information about direct government groups that I can be contacting. So I'll be doing that once I have a bit of downtime. Stop it. Sit. Stop squeaking. Sit, please. Thank you. Good girl. So that'll be great. The Munchkin, like I said, has been doing a lot better. We go to the park a couple times a week, and she runs around like a crazy dog, and it is hilarious. It's really cute because when I first brought her home, she'd been growing and also not running so that she could stretch out those ligaments. So she was like leggy and teenager, and then also hadn't stretched things out, so she was like awkward as fuck, and it was really cute and funny. She's still awkward as fuck. She regularly walks into things like her human, but when she's running full out, it is intense, and so it's quite funny watching her at the park because she just like books it across the field, and it's sort of terrifying to watch if she's barreling at you, but I also find it really funny. So she's doing a lot better, maturing, continuing to grow, I think. She's a giant. Yesterday we were at the park and there was a Newfoundland, and the Newfoundland was as big as her. Occasionally there will be a shepherd that's like a little bit bigger. Usually it's a male. And then yesterday there was a Saint Bernard who was bigger than her, and the Saint Bernard was adorable, but the Saint Bernard was not that much bigger than her. So that was kind of funny. What else is coming up? Watch. Yay. Okay, Pupper. I know. You have to wait. We're almost done. So other things that are coming up. So for December, what you can anticipate so this month was primarily From Field to Skin, Indiegogo, and then the shop update, and then just trying to fit life around that. The pattern that got released was Sapling. So next month there will actually be 5 patterns getting released, and that is because we have the 6th volume of Everyday Magic coming out. So that's the Yule collection. And so that'll be coming out on the 22nd. No. And then we also have the final 2 Pleiades socks coming out. And I can actually show you one of them right here. This is Merope. And it was knit using tuku fingering, so I don't know how well you can see those details, but I'm actually thinking that I haven't decided if I'm going to do this one or possibly Electra. I have some nomadic yarns in Bellatrix Lestrange, and it's delightful, and it's self-striping, and it's a BFL tweed, so I haven't decided if I'm going to do Electra or Merope in that particular yarn, but I'm just going to knit a pair for myself because these also end up in my my to-do list, not my to-do list, my sock drawer, but you can never have too many socks, as I know from not washing my socks enough, and I have cold feet. So Astaroth and Merope will be out on December 31st. And so those will be the end of the Pleiades collection, the culmination of it, and also kind of mark a bit of a break in pattern releases until March. So my plan for 2020 is to shift the way that I am doing pattern releases. This year there will be 36 patterns that have come out by the end of the year. And so that's a lot. And next year will also still be like 25 or something at this point. But they'll come out in groups instead, which will give me, I think, a little bit more of brain space and just general working space to deal with other stuff as it comes up, rather than always having these patterns that are coming out and feeling like I'm never giving them enough attention on their own because there's always something else coming down the pipeline. So in 2020, you will see the final 2 Everyday Magic collections come out, which will mean the culmination of this thing that has been happening for 3 years. So that's very exciting to me. Also, as an Aries, I am stoked that I will actually finish and follow through fully with a project. So yeah, those will come out on Ostara, and what's the last one? Lammas, I think? Maybe? No, I think Lammas already came out. I can't remember. Anyway, March and May is when those will come out. And then on my birthday, I am currently knitting a design. It's going to be a colorwork sweater. I'm going to size it for the whole family, if I can get it to work. Also possibly for dogs. And it's going to be frickin' adorable. And I'm using my yarn, so there will be pre-orders for that yarn that I will also do. Haven't quite figured out the timing for that, but that will be available alongside that pattern launch, which will be my kind of birthday thing that I do for next year. It is Harry Potter themed. I will give you that much information. So yes, my nerdy Harry Potter bits will come out. And then, excuse me, then there will be book number 3, which is going to come out in fall. So beginning of September is kind of the aim for it at this point. That's going to be a book all of shawls and also of recipes and rituals. Oh yeah, so that was the other thing that happened this month. Samson came in for a week, just shy of a week, and we shot the final 3 Everyday Magic knitting portions of the collections. I still have to do the other bits of them, but the knitting bits are done, which is super exciting. And you've probably seen some of those coming out online as sneak peeks so far. And then also he shot the holiday lookbook, and we also shot the recipes and the rituals portion of our 3rd book together. And all of the patterns we are going to shoot in Salem, Massachusetts in the kind of late spring of next year. So I'm very excited about that. It's going to be beautiful. I think it's also going to mark a change in my photography and my general style, which I'm really excited about. And then next year's sock collection is going to come out as a full unit rather than these slow releases that I've been doing over the past few years. I always design the whole collection at least a year in advance. So like these patterns that are coming out on December 31st were designed well over a year ago. But I think it was like last summer that I designed them all. But it's just always a matter of like having the samples knit up and getting them ready alongside everything else that is happening. And I feel like every single year that I've done this, there's always this kind of mad rush during the last quarter of the year where I'm like, oh shit, still have, 3 or 4 patterns left of the 7. And there's a bunch of other stuff I'm doing at this time of year, and nothing's really getting as much attention as I want it to get. So my plan is that next year's collection will all come out as a single unit, and as the individual patterns, but all 7 will come out at once to celebrate Socktober, because that feels right and accurate and in line with everything that I love. So that'll be next year's collections and patterns, and I'm excited, and there's going to be still so many patterns that come out, but they will, I know my love, soon, almost, but they'll come out as like consistent things. Just wait. You have to wait. I know. It's hard. So yeah, so that'll be next year. I'm stoked. It's going to be lovely. Yeah, bit of a shift. And so I'm also starting a photography course that so it's one that you sign up for and it lands in your email box, and it basically just helps you learn how to work with your camera. And I've never really done it. And by never really, I mean I have not done it at all. And my camera skills have increased every year, but it's only by just kind of like fucking around and not really knowing what I'm doing. So I am going to start working through these emails that I got, and we shall see how my photography shifts over the coming weeks and months, and I'm excited to see how that goes. If you would like to join me in that journey, I will link to the person that I signed up for it with. It's free, which is why I'm telling you about it, which is also possibly why I haven't invested the time in it yet, but whatever. So that is happening. Other things that are coming up, I've got classes happening at Woolsey Wool. I'm going to be teaching knit design in January, as well as walking people through the Strange Brew pattern from Tin Can Knits. It has been my gateway drug into colorwork yokes, and I am obsessed, and I would like to walk other people through creating their own colorwork yokes using the magic that is that pattern. So I'm very excited about that. Creative Coven is always open with my shawl design. It's going to be getting a bit of a facelift next year, but the main material will remain the same with the facelift as addition, because I think it's actually really useful for folks to see how, as like I started it first came out in 2017 and I was building it over 2016 and 2017. So I think it's really useful for people to see how business, and especially with aesthetics, how things can kind of grow and mature, but then still have everything you're still using those same processes, you've just refined them over time, and shifted the look of things over time is often what the primary change has been. So I'm excited for that. But in the meantime, Creative Coven is available, and it's actually going to be increasing in price in the new year. Because my hourly rates are going up in the new year. So if you have wanted to sign up for Creative Coven and haven't been sure about it, give me a shout. I'm happy to walk you through like what is the right level for you, if this is the right thing for you to work on, but then also so that you can get in before the end of the year, because January 1st is when those prices are going to go up. So that is this month / next month's updates about the important things that are happening. I hope you have a beautiful holiday season. I will be back in your Patreon inboxes with a little bonus for you and a gift for you next month, in lieu of this video. But in the meantime, I hope you have a beautiful start to winter, end of fall for those of you that live in nicer climates. And for those of you in the south, I hope that summer is not too hot for you yet. So have a lovely holiday season, and I will see you in the new year. Thanks. Bye.